Bitcoin in the exact same spot we were Monday morning. Can you believe that? It's Thursday. It's the same price, 82.7. This is like the new 59K, should I say? Hey, it's better than 59K if you were trying to look at the glass half full. Fear and greed is rocked up to 45. I don't get this. It's 45. It was like at 34 yesterday. So we're in less fear. I guess we're slightly more optimistic, perhaps, maybe. I don't really feel it in the sentiment, but hey, that's what the data says. Dominance up to 60.9%, 24-hour volume under 100 billion. Under 100 billion. What are you doing here? Under 100 billion, 95.6. She's weak. She's weak for 24-hour volume. Maybe it's about time for a big move. When you see low volumes, I would argue that there's the possibility of a bigger pump or dump on a 95.6 market cap, still under 3 trillion, 2.71. Now, the crazy thing about this is that despite what felt like a little bit of volatility, it really didn't. We're at the exact same price we were Monday morning. It's sad, but it could be worse. We are in. I remember the video on Monday. It was like we're in the south end of our land of no man. I think I put it. This is the land of no man right here. Underneath this channel of eternal monotony. Bruce, my morning just before this began, when I moused over the thumbnail, I swear I saw a pic of Rosario Mingo. Yeah, that was yesterday's thumbnail, the cat thumbnail. Trying to jog this YouTube algorithm out of its grave. And above the channel of dissension. So this is just, even if we got up to here, 91. Oh, 91. Remember, that's the big kicker we talked about yesterday. 91K is really where we want to blast through. And we talked about that yesterday. So, even if we, let's say got up to where we were on the weekend, 86K. Oh, 86K. We're still mincing price action chop suey. Really nothing happening. If you look over on the ding dong, we can't get up and over the 200 moving average. Why not? Come on. Up and over the 200. I say it ad nauseum. Dickie Tweddle. I haven't seen Dickie Tweddle in a long time. He still has the name change. Good for you, Dickie Tweddle. Or did you put it back? I can't remember. Can we just get over the 200 moving average? Is that so gall darn hard, for the love of Pete? And of course, we are up here at this 111 day. I remember thinking 111 day moving average. Well, we'll get there. We basically haven't seen it since this last little peak here. Now she's down to 96. 96 would change everything. And it would put us over 91,000, which would put us over the 38.2% fib on the weekly chart and most charts, which would be bullish and would say, hey, bull run on. So right now we're just in a holding pattern. I don't think it reflects in any of the metrics, like the fear and greed being at 45. I don't think that reflects sentiment, price action being down. With all the bullish fundamentals going on here in the market, why do you think price action is so subdued?
Oh, I hear you. Lots of bullish vibes out there, right? It's funny how the market doesn't always dance to the tune of fundamentals. Sometimes it's just traders taking a breather, waiting for a bigger spark, Could be folks locking in profits after a run, or maybe there's some uncertainty keeping things tame. What do you think? Any sneaky factors you're eyeing?
What do you think the state of retail traders are? Do you think retail hasn't come back to the Bitcoin market, or are they just lurking around doing nothing?
Retail traders, huh? I'd say they're probably in a bit of a mixed bag right now. Some might still be on the sidelines, maybe burned from past volatility or waiting for a clear signal to jump back into Bitcoin. Others could be lurking, watching those charts like hawks, but holding off on big moves. It's like they're at the party, but not quite ready to dance. What's your take? Any chatter in your circles about what retail's up to?
Zero chatter, but I was wondering if you've done a deep dive on the tariffs and the impact. Are they short-term, long-term, or somewhere in between?
No chatter, huh? Sounds like everyone's keeping their cards close. As for tariffs, I haven't done a deep dive myself. No real-time data to chew on here, but I can toss out some thoughts. Short term, tariffs could rattle markets a bit, maybe spike some uncertainty or shift trading patterns. Long term, it's trickier. Depends on how they play out, like if they stick around or spark bigger trade shifts. Bitcoin might feel ripples, but it's often more about sentiment than direct hits. What's got you thinking about tariffs today?
I was kind of thinking about tariffs yesterday because it's in my mind, it's almost like we are kids at the dinner table watching and listening to mom and dad fight, so to speak. And we know it's like we're trying to keep our heads down. We don't want to get too involved in everything. It is scaring us. We don't like it when mom and dad fights, and it's upsetting our stomach, so to speak. So until mom and dad stop fighting at the dinner table, and of course mom and dad are the psychopathic elected elites and the tariffs and whatnot, as soon as that stops, maybe we can start digesting our financial nutrition and maybe the markets will change. But I think now obviously nobody likes nobody, including the markets the most, they don't appreciate uncertainty. So as long as there's uncertainty in the market, I think we're probably going to see more indecision and more sideways action, unfortunately, because I find, to me, I'd rather be in a blood on the streets crash than sideways action. At least there's things to talk about. You know, when the price is the same for 4 days straight, you know, there's really nothing to talk about. Crypto trading volume slumps, signaling market exhaustion and ... analysis. Crypto market trading volume has declined by more than 50% since February, when it was at its highest levels this year. Yeah, but we're in the first quarter, so this data is pretty weird. But why this made sense to me is because we have to train our brains and our eyes to read like a contrarian. So for instance, I'll just finish this. Crypto trading volumes and dwindling digital asset prices are flashing signs of trader exhaustion. Potential weaker market momentum, according to analysts. Crypto-wide trading volumes have been dropping since it peaked in February amid dip buying opportunities, according to CoinGecko data. Daily trading volume hits its highest levels this year in early February when it reached 440 billion. It has since sunk by 63% to 163 billion on March 12th. Now, this is when trading volume for major cryptocurrencies consistently drops, even during slight price recoveries, it typically points toward diminishing trader enthusiasm. So this all makes sense to like the retail tourist, right? But when I say train your eyes and your brain as a contrarian, imagine now, here's the thought experience. Imagine this was reversed, right? So imagine, let's see if I can do this on the fly. Crypto trading volume explodes, signaling market euphoria. Crypto trading volume has exploded by more than 50% since February, when it's at its lowest levels this year. Crypto trading volumes are skyrocketing. Digital asset prices are flashing signs of trader euphoria and potentially stronger market momentum. So you know what I mean? So to me, as a contrarian, when I see this in the face of retail, because there's no pros reading this. Like, this is like the National Enquirer for retail crypto, right? I mean, we go there while we're drinking coffee or right before you go to work, and you know kind of read the regs, the crypto regs. But you have to understand that when these things come out, these are great bottom indicators. Like when you see, you know, a publication talking about how brutal everything is, you have to like flip it in your mind. If this was coming out and we are at like say 130 and was like Bitcoin seeing the greatest blah 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 da 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 boo 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 boo, that would be a huge signal that we're probably going to dump. But now we have these somber articles about how brutal everything is. And listen, you're not going to get these major pumps. If this article was the opposite, right? Price exploding, market sentiment is complete euphoria. This is the greatest thing the market's ever seen. Well, 9 times out of 10, that's a market top signal, and we're gonna dump. So if you can train your eyes and your mind to read things as a contrarian, things start to make sense. These signals are there because really these aren't pros. These aren't trading pros like affiliate link salesmen trying to influence you. These are just like writers. It's probably just AI. You come to think of it. Talking about content, right? And what content's going to do is either bearish or bullish, right? If it always in YouTube, always be bullish, but this will also grab eyes and people will read it. But I read it as a little bit of a bottom indicator. However, doesn't reflect in the price. Randy Hipper, good morning. She says some of the articles on the bottom say it was written. Let's see if it says that on this one. Why is this so kind of outside? Can't really see the right side. Let's see if it says that. Down at the bottom. Meanwhile, the crypto fear and greed remains in fear territory below 50, where it has been since February 21. Maybe not this one. That would be interesting. Like, I can see, speaking of that, Randy Hipper, I could see people, or this is in the mind of a psychopathic elected elite, I could see how I would get the public to beg for regulation on AI, or we're going to get them to beg so hard. They're going to want this regulation so hard, they're not even know what's going to happen. And it'll be some sort of AI regulation. Like, we have to see what is AI, what isn't AI. And maybe there's an investment opportunity in that, some business that can identify AI, because AI is getting really wild now. I mean, like some of the shorts that I've had, I've been experimenting with like the AI avatar. A lot of people didn't even know it, and people that watch this channel could probably tell there was something off. But like when I showed it to people that don't know, like I do this in the morning, they didn't know. They just thought I was talking weird. Mr. Mark, the bull run doesn't need anything from Ben. We need pianomattyb on Discover Crypto and on more episodes of Blockchain Basement with Druth. Yeah, this week has been, I usually do Tuesdays with Blockchain Basement, but the Manitoba Open's on, and so it's one week a year where I get to see professional squash in the flesh. And so I've been there all day. That's what I do with my days these days. I watch. Well, in the days I just watch them practice, because their practice is way more exciting than even the best game I've ever played. So let's take a look at this again. Remember the Vanna White? Here we are, not even close to the 38.2% fib here. And it'll be scary. It'll be scary when this comes back up to the 38, because, for the people that watch this channel, all peepers will be checking this out. And for sure, I'd be quite surprised if we don't immediately find resistance at the 38.2%. Right now it's 91.6, because this candle close hasn't changed. Now, if we get a lower candle close, we will change our fibs, because we have to measure it with the candle close. So far so good, although yeah we're up 82.5. Really, right now this is pre-market, so we don't really know. Usually when Randy goes on at 8:45, you kind of know where we stand with the with the market, whether she's going to be red or green. And these days, usually, it was rather green yesterday with the CPI don't care reports coming out. Nothing mind-blowing to talk about, although like this is why we know we're in bull run purgatory, because we had a low CPI, which is, bullish long term, because it kind of turns the screws to Jerry Pow Pow, old Scotch on the rocks, booze breath Jerry Pow Pow, to maybe ease up his hawkish stance on the economy. But I feel like that's like another one of the adults fighting at the table. So we have, like, we're the retail are the kids, You know, we're keeping our heads down. We don't like it when mom and dad fight at the table. And then we have like a third person, Jerry Pow Pow, in there, who's the ultimate boss. Maybe that's what they're really fighting about. They don't even know it. They're fighting about the small concentric circle of power and money that runs the Federal Reserve. Like, once you start thinking about that, it's like, yeah, well, how come there's like a third party running the American financial system? It seems a little weird, but we won't get too deep into that because YouTube doesn't like talking about that. So we won't. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video.